How do you stay motivated at school? In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips that are really going to help you. This is the Efficiency and Organization YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all things having to do with goals, having to be organized, be efficient, well managed with time, having good plans in place. So that way you can achieve everything you put your mind to. Now, motivation is a big part of this, right? No matter what you choose to do, what goals you set, you have to be motivated to actually go through and achieve them. So being at school is one of the most important things you could do for yourself, whether you're in middle school, high school, college. It is hard to motivate yourself. Most people don't like being in school. Most people don't like the setup. They don't like to be lectured to, especially for long periods of time. Thinking is hard. It is hard. I mean, it's like a workout for the brain, right? And how much of it can you sustain, especially if you've been working all day? I'm going to give you 5 tips, but I want to tell you that there's no magic formula. If there was a magic pill to take that'll help you just get through those assignments and get through the tests, it'll be out there. We would all take it. But unfortunately, there isn't. So we have to kind of use what we have learned over the years from others and in our own lives, in our own experiences, to be able to sustain and get through and finish successfully. So the very first one is you have to remind yourself that it's temporary. Always remind yourself, no matter how old you are right now, you've probably already felt how quickly time goes, right? Time flies. It's like a saying that we throw out there. It's a cliche. Time does fly, and therefore school is not forever. It's really just going to be for maybe 2, 3, 4 years of your life, maybe 5 years of your life, and you're done. You're done for good, at least for the program you're in, whether it's for a degree or a diploma. So just keep thinking that it's temporary, it's temporary, it's temporary, and take it like one semester at a time, one quarter at a time. The second piece of advice that I have for you is being able to understand that if you don't do it, you're likely going to have that sense of regret that's not going to feel good. So that was my biggest motivation for going through and getting my degrees in college, especially. Or when I would not study for a test, I would know, oh my gosh, I'm not going to do well the next day, and I'm going to regret this time that I did not spend studying and preparing as well as I should have. So that feeling was so negative for me, and I didn't want to experience it. And that's why I forced myself to make sure I study, I do my assignments on time. Even when it comes to quitting altogether, that's what it was. I knew that one day I would look back and say, why didn't I finish? And so that's why I pushed through. Now, every time you do finish a semester successfully, that should give you that self-confidence, that extra boost to be able to do it again and again and again. Use that momentum to build yourself up, to keep pushing forward. Okay, the third one works really well for me, and I hope you can try it. And it has to do with doing the hard things first. So let's say you're home and it's 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and you have time that you've devoted to studying or writing assignments. Look at the one that you don't like and do that first, okay? So let's say you have a physics class, let's say you have an English class, and let's say you have an art history class. Of those 3, which one do you not like? Or of those 3, which one is the hardest for you? Do the assignments for that one first, get it out of the way, then spend the rest of your time doing the ones that are easy. That way, it'll help you to get the hard stuff done and you don't have to worry, and you're good to go for the next day. Next is chunking. So I'm going to give you a really good example of that I'm doing right now. But basically, chunking means taking something big like a research project, like studying for a final, and then breaking it into smaller parts. So right now, I have this thing I need to do where I have to answer 620 questions for a continuing education thing that I have to do to renew my license. I have a couple of licenses, so this is one that I have to do. If I was to sit down and do 620 questions at once, even getting started is so daunting. How do you start something like that? So you know what I do? I set it in the kitchen, right on the counter. So every hour or so, I go and then I do a couple of problems. Even here in my home office, I could do that. I can do like small bits and pieces. When I write my books, same thing. Writing a book, like giving it like a whole weekend or a whole few weeks to write it is a lot. It's just too daunting of a task. I have to break it into smaller units, focusing like one chapter at a time, focusing on even like a page at a time. And then the last suggestion is to have very positive self-talk, and it does work. So for example, if I get up in the morning and I'm super tired, maybe even sick, maybe even unmotivated, if I just talk to myself and go, I got this, a successful day, we're gonna have a successful day, it is actually gonna work. It's like I'm turning my negativity into positivity. Before, I didn't really understand that until I started to do it more and more, and it does truly work. The other super helpful thing you can do is use certain times of the year to motivate yourself for new beginnings. Okay, so here's what I mean by that. Every time it's a new year, it's like a new beginning, right? So if you haven't been doing well, if you haven't been motivated to do something that you've been putting off, like schoolwork, like getting a degree, use that time to say, no, it's a new year, I'm gonna do this, and just get yourself worked up, that positive self-talk to go ahead with it. The other thing is you can even not have to wait for like a whole year. Every time it's a new season. Like for instance, one of my favorites is the winter solstice, because the winter solstice is like what, December 2021 usually, right? And that's like the shortest day of the year. It's the darkest day of the year. And I go, okay, I'm looking forward to that because after that, it's a new beginning. So then I could set new goals. Every time it's a holiday, like you could say Easter, new beginning, it's a new season. I'm gonna push myself and I'm gonna motivate myself. That's all I have for this video. My next one that I'm working on is how to motivate yourself to work out, because that's also something that's super difficult for me, but I keep up with. So I'll share that video as soon as I'm able to record it, edit it, and post it on YouTube. I will catch you in the next video.